Hey everybody, welcome back. And I mean, I should say us, welcome back. We've been on hiatus.
4 weeks.
I'm so
to
sorry.
5 weeks.
I'm
Finally,
sorry.
that
I'm
stupid
sorry.
podcast network has come back to the internet.
I have been inundated with like emails and Facebook pings and
People
and I'm
are
sorry.
pissed.
I know you guys. So, quick backstory: I did go on vacation for a couple weeks. That was part of it, and then work blew up when I got back.
I was crazy at work.
his
I was
blew up.
I was gone for a while work wise too.
So we suck. We know we suck.
We're back on the grind.
Just like we do when we're here, we're going to start this week off with a little bit of Snopes.
We gonna snope something for your ass.
So I think you got one to start us off, right?
So this is an old one, and I want to kind of bring it back. It is a throwback Thursday Snopes, I suppose, if you will.
But it's not Thursday.
It's not Thursday. We're filming on a Saturday, but who knows when we're actually going to release this thing this week. But the point is, it's the NASA pin. Everybody's been blown up about the NASA pin.
Right.
The whole story goes is that, NASA spent millions of research money on building a pin that would write upside down, underwater, no gravity, blah, 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 while the Russians just decided to use a pencil. Right. Well, that is technically wrong. Wrong as hell. And it's not even really technically, it's just wrong.
Wrongity wrong?
Yeah, super wrong.
All right.
NASA actually spent no money building those pins. The pins were made, I think it was... let's see the company here. I can't find the actual name of the company, unfortunately, but it was made by a company not by NASA, who spent, I want to say, it was around 1.2
Lockheed
1.2 million. Yeah,
Boeing
I believe so.
guys,
1.2 million dollars, and they actually developed this pin. The cool thing is, it was Fisher Space pins. It was Fisher Space pins.
Okay.
And they sold the pins to NASA for $295 each. The original order was 400 pins.
Pretty cheap.
So we're looking at $900 ish. I
paid about $4 for my zebra pins.
Exactly.
So
by the way, those pins now go retail for $19.95. NASA spent no money on that. And the funny thing about the Russians using a pencil, they did use a pencil until they figured out that one thing is funny about graphite, and that it is super conductive. So when a tip broke off inside one of the pods,
oopsie.
Yeah, and it kind of shorted out some of the important stuff, like
oxygen.
I don't know, landing gear.
You don't need that though.
They had a very interesting flight coming back home.
That's good stuff.
What do you got for me this week?
So mine is, and this resurgence about it. This I guess a throwback, if you will, too, because this is a really old story, but it keeps coming back every time there's a banking something going on. I always hear about, you're better off keeping your money in a mattress, man, because that FDIC insurance ain't shit.
Wow.
The FDIC could take like 10 months to give your money back.
I don't think that's how it works at all. Please give me some drop some knowledge.
That's not how it works. So for those of you who know what the FDIC even is, but the FDIC has one job essentially that you care about, and that is if your bank goes belly up,
they insure you.
They insure you up to
$100,000, right?
Up to $150,000 in domestic saving and checking.
All right.
Do you have to wait 10 months to get it back? No.
How long do you think it would be?
It's about a week.
So you mean that if, say, my bank goes belly
and that's
up,
long end. I mean
that's what I was
thinking.
thinking. Because and let's be realistic here. So, money is a number.
Money is a number.
And if you think that banks keep all the physical cash that they actually have on hand,
no, it would be impossible.
Yeah,
if you went down to your branch and everybody that banked at the same bank you did went to your same branch and tried to withdraw what they had in that bank, they wouldn't be able to give you that money.
Now that is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. And I believe they came into effect, just a little history for it. They came into effect after the whole run on banks a long time back. Okay. Was it in the 50s or was it in the old school Western days when there was some serious run on banks?
I gotta be honest, I don't even remember now. Time. I actually have to look that up.
We're gonna have to look that up and we'll get back on you on that.
The point is, you don't have to wait 8 or 10 months. And if someone tells you to keep your money under your mattress,
what are you gonna do when the house burns down?
See, I mean, if you don't want to keep it in the bank, at least keep it in something that won't catch on fire. Ooh, gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're not, you should Ron Swanson it. Go turn all your cash into gold and bury it somewhere that no one will ever find it. That's right.
And then if you could build me some of those really nice chairs that he makes,
I would love that.
I'd take a set right now. So RJ, I'm going to DragonCon this year. I mean, you're going to DragonCon, right? We're both going to DragonCon. We love DragonCon.
We gotta tell them.
All right.
All right. So I got a press pass to DragonCon, which means we have press credentials for DragonCon this year, and that means
little old us.
I know
we got press credentials.
Press credentials.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. It's really scary who they'll give that stuff out to. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about, and we haven't done this in a long, long time. Actually, we've never officially done this.
Never officially done this. True.
We're going to do a live show from DragonCon. Yeah. From DragonCon.
Now, we've done live shows in the sense where,
we've had audience there.
Right, we've had audience, like at Green's Tavern here in Knoxville, and we'll probably do those again pretty soon, even, especially now because it's getting summertime.
It's getting summertime, and we just want to go someplace else, have a drink.
But when he says live show...
We're doing a live show!
You're going to be... So even... Now, if you're at DragonCon... Look us up. We will be there.
We will be there. We will actually be walking around at DragonCon. We'll be doing interviews. We'll be doing media.
Yep.
We'll be taking pictures, and that's what I want to lead into.
Yeah. And if you're not at DragonCon, but you'd like to see the show, we are going to do it live on
the internet, and we're going to post it on the Facebook.
On the line, as Vince Vaughn would say. From
on the interwebs?
So we'll get links and info will be up later, and we'll remind you like 1,000 times between now and DragonCon.
And just in case, if you're bored or you're one of those people who's on the go, you don't have time to watch the show, we will eventually have a copy of that show.
It'll go up on YouTube.
But the biggest thing is you can still follow both of us on Twitter. You can definitely follow me on Instagram.
He's at RedJeans542.
Yep. And what are you?
I'm at Stephen Ray.
That's right. We both have Instagram accounts. Yes. I know those will be active.
Yep. I will Instagram the shit out of DragonCon.
We'll try at the end of the day to take any of the pictures that we've done and put them up on the Facebook page. Other than that, I mean...
We'd like to ask you who you'd like to see us try and interview.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. DragonCon.org, you can find their guest list for this year. And what we want you to do out there is we want you to go check that guest list out.
Right.
July 1st is when they open up for me to go in and request who I want to interview early. Now, a lot of these people are super famous, and they're super hard to get a hold of. I need to know who you want to see interviewed. We will take the camera. We will record the interview.
And we will pound doors.
I mean, we will. I will go to town for you to make sure these interviews happen. But you got to give us feedback.
Let us know.
Let us know who you would interview.
I already know.
DragonCon.
Like, there's some people I want to.
Okay.
So if Lost Girl comes back, and I think they are coming back this year,
we can totally get interviews with them.
I got to get interviews with some of those guys. And Grimm, I'm a huge Grimm fan.
All right, I know that a lot of the people that have been clamoring at me, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't really like Battlestar Galactica. Wasn't a huge fan.
Look, if Starbuck is at DragonCon,
it's not Starbuck. It's the blonde Cylon chick.
I'll take it.
I don't know who that is. People told me her name. You know.
I want the Harbinger of Death, though.
Yeah.
I wish Katie was showing up. That'd be so nice.
But we are going to DragonCon. It's going to be big.
I got a picture with her recently. I was kind of jealous.
We're going to have everything up online. Yeah. We're going to be actively using all of our mobile communications for you guys out there, and I think that it's huge for us.
We're going to record a crap load of footage, even not for the live show. There will be tons and tons of footage.
We'll probably not be able to put it all up at the same time, but you'll probably get it scattered throughout the weeks after DragonCon.
You'll get to see our favorite cosplay. If I can do it in time, I'm actually going to do a little bit of cosplay.
Okay, I'm also cosplaying.
I've got a prosthetic to build and a suit to build, but I'm going to do Sukar from Defiance because I'm going with a group that's doing some Defiance cosplay. So.
And I'm probably going to do either Dr. Horrible or Barney from How I Met Your Mother, and probably both.
I think both. I think I
can pull it off.
Well, kind of like for Halloween, I did the whole Doctor Who dressed up as Heisenberg. You should do Barney dressed up as Dr.
I could actually
Horrible.
be wearing a suit under that and just rip it off.
Totally.
As it could be one of my many nice things in the playbook. That's how you hit on nerd chicks. You dress up as Dr. Horrible, and then you play a game called Have You Met Ted.
That would totally freaking do it.
Ted's what I call my penis.
You know how I do? I pick up chicks. So I've been online dating, so I'm going to take tangent for just a minute. It's hard to stand out online, right?
It is.
So I've come up with some like nerd pickup lines that I'm using. You want to hear?
Yeah, go ahead. Bring on to me.
Told one girl the other day, in fact, that after we kind of connected on Facebook, I Googled her name, totally clicked the I'm feeling lucky button. They get worse.
Hey, girl, after me, you'll be like a TARDIS, bigger on the inside.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah, don't do that.
Now, don't go say that. Don't go say that. But we'll stop right here. We will be at DragonCon. Let us know who you want to interview. We will get that taken care of 100%. Let us know through Twitter. You can email us at thatstupidpodcast.com.
Show at thatstupidpodcast.com. Absolutely.
You can call the number, which it's been 5 weeks and I've already forgotten.
480-STUPID-9. There you go.
I know the last part.
Yep.
There's letters.
It makes it easy.
But other than that, that's all we got for you on this segment.
It's all good. It's DragonCon. It's going to be awesome.
DragonCon 2014. That stupid podcast. I guess we're going to be getting stupid at DragonCon.
We're going to be way stupid at DragonCon. So it's that time, RJ, for a little bit of Tech Bites.
Technology Bites.
Boom.
Boom.
Well, this week has been... It's actually...
We've been a little tech heavy.
It has been a little tech heavy. And when I was looking at some of the stories, trying to think of what I was going to talk about this week, the one thing that just kept popping in my head... If you don't have Netflix, you might want to sign up like today, because around July-ish, the dates haven't really been settled. It's going to go up $1, maybe $2.
Either way, you've got about 30 to maybe 45 days
to raise your
from now to get into Netflix, because they are raising prices.
And you should get into Netflix because it's awesome. I mean,
no, it is. I couldn't imagine my life without Netflix at this point.
And why is it awesome? Have you seen the stuff they've added to Netflix recently?
I haven't, because I've been too busy watching every single episode of House.
Okay, that would be one of the things they just added. All 8 seasons of House just got smacked down, boom, on the Netflix.
I have a feeling that's going to be leading into a bigger Fox deal, which they already have a deal with Fox.
They do have a Fox
they're expanding
deal,
right now.
Which is why you can go watch Firefly if you haven't ever seen
Firefly,
that before,
Bones,
example.
New Girl, House.
Yeah. You like New Girl?
I love New Girl.
So
it is my favorite comedy
and I
show,
like Emily.
period.
I like Emily Deschanel, but I just couldn't get into the.
You mean Zoe?
Zoe, sorry, the
Emily's
younger one,
on
the
Bones,
sister.
yeah.
I like Zoe. I just I couldn't get into it.
But that's the thing. The show's not about her. The show's about the guys. And
maybe that's why I couldn't get into it. I guess.
And it's hilarious for me. If you can live through a season of New Girl, then you will start loving that show.
Yeah. So. They added like 40 or 50 new television shows and movies.
Yep.
I'm going to put a link. I'm going to drop a bit.ly link right here because you need to go read them all. I don't have time to talk about them all.
I don't either.
There's just... But The House was the big one for me. And even though it's not Netflix and this isn't in Technology Bites, there is something else that I wanted to talk about along those lines before I go back to Netflix, and that is Mr. Amazon Prime.
Yes, Amazon
See the
Prime.
big news this week about Amazon Prime?
Actually, other than the fact
they
that they raised
signed
their
a deal
prices. Oh, that's right, for
with
HBO.
HBO.
Yeah.
Not
Now,
all their shows, but their old catalog.
Don't freak out thinking that Game of Thrones is going on Amazon
it's
Prime.
It's not new catalog.
It's their back catalog.
But if you've never seen an episode of Sopranos, the whole thing just dropped on Amazon Prime. And there are, I think, about 5 or 6 shows right now.
I think they're putting... I want to say that True Blood's going to go on it.
True Blood will make it. Boardwalk Empire is on the list. And you know, Game of Thrones will probably make it in a few years, I would assume.
I'm not even going to say a few years. I'm going to say one more year.
You think just one?
Because I think they'll do a teaser for the next season.
All right.
And they'll put everything out on Amazon Prime. If the deal works out.
If it goes through. So, and this, by the way, this is much bigger than Amazon Prime. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is you've heard me talk about all of the issues that I have with cable companies anyway. This is kind of HBO's testing the waters
for going to digital,
to basically selling HBO Go a la carte.
Yeah, and I think it's going to happen.
It will. Well, no,
Comcast can't say no to this at this point.
So
they're just going to hurt themselves.
They used to have a stronghold. They used to be able to kind of put the grind down on HBO, but not anymore. So the big news about Netflix really was the fact that it was going up for $1 or $2, and I want to tell you why I think it's going up. I know you said
I've got
you have
a completely different reason.
So part of it, the fact is, we already talked about this a few episodes back. Mm-hmm. They dropped this big deal with Comcast. Of course, your quality of service has
been amazing. On the Xbox 360, the computer, and the Xbox One, which I now own, and my television, now I stream never dropping quality loss in Super HD.
Yeah, so, and for those who know, Super HD is the not just 1080p, but it's also the 7-channel digital audio. That is correct. And it's the audio that really takes a lot of that.
That's what the bandwidth is, because you have to split it across all those channels.
But here's why. It's partly the fact that they just paid Comcast a whole lot of money.
A lot of money.
And they're going to have to continue to do that.
Verizon and AT&T already wants their share of it.
They already want their share. Of course they do. I mean...
Well, hey, you guys just gave Comcast a bunch of money. We're going to beat you up. Where's the rest of your lunch money?
What about us? So that has a lot to do with it. And before I get into the main reason, which is another one of our tech stories, because you said you agree, but for different reasons.
I honestly believe that Netflix has a lot of money right now. They've proven that they have a ton of back collateral, and I assume that's from all the years that they were doing the big disc stuff, and it wasn't really costing them that much to do the disc. But
they're also producing some pretty good stuff.
That's where I'm looking at. They've been producing a huge amount of content lately.
Did you see House of Cards season 2? I finally got to finish it recently. Oh my god, that show!
I'm not a drama person for the most part, but I probably will.
Kevin Spacey.
One more season, and I'll probably have to. I'll be forced into watching it.
It's amazing.
I think that right now they're saying, hey, They're giving you a heads up. They're going, hey, 60 days from now, we're going to raise our prices. Yeah. So you're going to see a huge number of Netflix people who were borrowing Netflix from someone else go in and actually get their own membership. What that's going to do is boost the money behind them.
So Netflix is really starting to put the
throttle down on how many active devices.
Right.
You can have.
You can still have, you can still have 50 or something odd devices,
but two can be in use at the same time.
Right.
Now, with that said, I think that they're going to see a huge increase in cash flow, which means Netflix is going to use that backing money to do two things:
more original content,
pay off Verizon and AT&T.
Okay, all right.
And then the backing money will fill in that hole for them to produce more new content.
And that content that I want to see is that Marvel content that they just licensed.
I'm waiting on it. Now, here's the biggest thing: Netflix, for me. I have a feeling they're going to get completely out of the DVD market, the physical media market.
No.
I think they are, and I think they're going to force themselves into a digital channel.
They tried to do that. Remember, they tried to split the company into two pieces.
Well, yeah, but I think that was a bad way about going.
It was a revolt, man.
Yeah, people freaked out. Now, I think they're going to turn
I don't use their DVDs
into what HBO should have done years ago, which is its own digital channel.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
That also offers other content.
I don't know if I agree that they're going to drop DVDs altogether. I mean, we'll see.
I think that in the next 5 years, it's gone.
Really, you think that's it?
I do. Okay. Right. There are so few people right now, and then they'll have to stop. Then they won't. Well, and I
don't. I mean, I don't use it. I haven't used their DVD. I haven't for a while, either.
They won't fight with Redbox, and they won't lose the loss of money for buying those DVDs that sit around a warehouse. Oh, how many people do you know that just go to Redbox?
It's I even go to Redbox now.
I do too.
Never Redboxed.
I love Redbox.
But I can get a Blu-ray for $2.
$2. I take it back the next day.
I know. Done. Take it back in the morning. You know, before
exactly.
work.
What else we got going on this week?
So, what I wanted to mention is the next story, which kind of leads into the rest of the reason.
Yeah, I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, you and me both, brother.
Well, we discussed this about three episodes ago.
I kind of called this.
We did.
So you might remember several weeks ago, there was a story that I broke about net neutrality kind of getting shot down by the FCC.
It was three episodes ago. We talked about the net neutrality issue,
and because the FCC basically just said we're not going to regulate that stuff. Nope. We're not anti net neutrality is what they said.
We're not pro net.
But we're not pro net neutrality.
And they were neutral on net neutrality.
Yeah, except that's a lie.
It is because you know what the FCC loves. Money.
They really do love money.
And because they love money, what have they started opening talks on?
So Tom Wheeler, who's the chairman of the FCC, this week, in fact, by the time you see this episode, this meeting probably will have already taken place. Because this is happening this Tuesday, is going to start discussions on the topic of the FCC officially supporting pay for priority on the internet.
I'm not looking forward to this. In fact, it's going to be
This is literally exactly what we're fighting for with net neutrality, is to stop that kind of crap from happening. And the FCC is like, no, you know what? We're going to talk about that because I think it'd be a really good idea if we did this whole pay for standards shit.
Now let's look at where this could go in the future too. If it starts with this kind of thing for Netflix and with Hulu and things like that, for delivery systems being slowed or quickened based on what you pay for service-wise, it's going to happen with websites too. You don't think Comcast,
eventually if
Yahoo goes and pays them a bunch of money, they'll be like, yeah, guess what? Your Yahoo search results are now
way
faster
better than
your Google
way
search.
better than Google. Yeah.
Done. Because it'll return faster because they can go into the servers and be like, okay, fine.
Don't think Marissa Meyer's not back there going,
Oh, she is reaching in pockets right now because Yahoo, as much as nobody
they have a shitload of money, though.
They got a lot of money.
I mean, they don't have Google money, but they've got Nintendo money.
They've got Nintendo money because they've been around since forever.
So, although, well, and Facebook too, I think you'll see them digging into that a little bit too to kind of keep their stronghold.
They will,
especially
after just buying the Oculus
Instagram
Rift
a while ago, Oculus Rift. They bought Snapchat. You know, Apple acquired 45 companies in the last 12 months. But here's the thing, right? So with this particular, I mean, I want to play devil's advocate. I do at least want to kind of hit the other side of the story. So proponents for pay for service by priority, they're going to say, look, well, if you don't do that, then AT&T is going to raise your internet fee, or Comcast is going to
raise it up because they want money for the bandwidth.
They want money for the bandwidth you're using. So they're like, who's going to pay for it? The consumer's always going to pay for it.
One way or another.
So the argument is, does it mean that you pay for it because you're going to pay more for broadband, or does it mean you're going to pay for it because you're going to pay more for the services?
For your Hulu goes up, your Netflix goes up. I would rather pay for my Netflix to go up and let Netflix front the bill for that, because I think that as a company, they're going to be a lot more fair than any ISP out there.
That means that you are essentially for the FCC regulation that we're talking about. that's the conundrum.
I'm so against it, but I'm so for that at the same time.
And that is ultimately the internal conflict that you kind of have to get around. Now, here's my take, and I'm not going to go too crazy tangent on this, but I do want to talk a little bit about it, because this is something I deal with every day. And it's funny, because I'm not big government necessarily, but there's one thing that we've done a really poor job of in the U.S., and that is we built a hell of an infrastructure and then didn't do anything with it.
And
for
we've let
20
it rot.
years.
Yeah, we've absolutely let it rot.
So
when you look at countries like Korea, who has fiber Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere,
it's kind of insane. Now you got companies like Google right now who are really pushing to try and fix that infrastructure.
Pay to put your own service center in, your ISP center in, and we'll just pump you
AT&T's finally starting to drop some new fiber. They did their beta launch in Dallas. They've got one in Atlanta. They're hitting 15 markets over the next 12 months or so. I looked at the list. We're not on it.
Oh.
I was very sad. Winston-Salem is the closest to us.
That's really far away.
Atlanta, and I think Memphis. But not
why is Memphis
or Nashville? Might be Nashville.
Okay, it's probably Nashville. That's a big.
But we were not in. Yeah, I was very sad.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that, AT&T.
So. But regardless of that, it's a conundrum. You have to think about that. And this is coming from someone who, and I'm gonna give you some information disclosure. Those of most of you know I work for AT&T, not that side of AT&T, but I do work for AT&T. And I have AT&T internet at home, but I also have Comcast internet at home, only because, quite frankly, I need more bandwidth to do things like pushing for this show, uploading episodes. I have a software development company. Yep. My developer programs online. I pay Comcast over $2,500 a year for my internet.
At the same time, you have awesome service.
Oh, I got great service. I mean, I got 120 meg pipe with a 25 meg upload pipe. So
and that's fiber standard to just you, right?
Right. And because it's business class, I'm not sharing that node with anyone on the street.
There's no business here at all. I mean,
exactly. So for me, it's great. It's just ridiculously expensive.
I got one more thing I want to throw in for this that does bother me about the situation. On the flip side of things, microtransactions. You see them every day with our mobile stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a look at your bill? Like from AT&T or Comcast and all the small charges.
You get a lot of microtransactions on your bill.
That's that's why I would rather pay Netflix or Hulu more than play Comcast.
Because there's 911 fees. There's so I want to stop talking about it for now because I will go off for hours. We'll revisit it next. But we will probably every week.
The next, be
talking a little bit about this because I have a feeling after Tuesday this story is going to blow up. The next big thing is Samsung confirms a fatal flaw for the Galaxy S5 this week. Oh wait, here we go. Got to see the logo. Sorry.
Oh. Hello, Moto.
Fortunately, actually, the Moto X is a decent.
They are
phone.
really. I hate to admit that they're amazing.
It's a nice little phone,
but
it's a camera issue with the S5. Fortunately, for most S5 users, you actually aren't affected.
Nope. Much to my chagrin.
But for those that are, it's a hardware issue.
Yep.
It's not going to be fixed in firmware. And
you're going to have to swap your phone out.
Yeah, so be looking soon for probably some sort of hardware replacement program.
They'll probably either they'll probably shoot you a piece of mail, or you'll get a call from the company.
But to be fair, I'm gonna be a little bipartisan for a minute. Apple just started replacing power buttons on their iPhone 5s this week because they finally fixed. I mean, they finally
What's wrong with
admitted.
The power button?
I don't have a problem.
I don't either.
I've been lucky. I've never had any of the power button issues that people have, but tons and tons of people have broken wake buttons on their iPhones.
See, I don't break that, but I'm positive for
people have home button problems.
My home button is about to die.
So, but they've just started, even for the original iPhone 5, you can start taking it to the Apple Store, and they'll replace it completely for free, even if it's out of warranty. They will go ahead and replace it, which is really nice.
That is really awesome of them as a company to do, because they don't have to.
But I just want to be a little bipartisan. I'm not just down on Samsung. Speaking of Android, though, HTC, the man who responsible,
the man responsible
for the HTC One, which, by the way,
everyone loves,
is a beautiful, beautiful phone. Yeah, he said goodbye, HTC. I'm leaving you. He's gone.
I'm assuming either he got bored or artistically direction-wise, because HTC's been doing a lot of those flat steel looks.
Scott's gone.
And he's bounced.
He's gone. Which
that's going to really hurt HTC in stock and in phones.
My question is, where is he going to go?
You really want to know?
I think I do.
Come on, what do you think?
So just this week, we already knew this is not news, but it finally finalized this week. Nokia, however you want to say their name, is now officially and they're 25,000 employees for their hardware phone division, part of Microsoft.
Yep.
And I would not be surprised that if sometime this summer you don't see Scott leading up.
That's
a little
exactly
bit of
where
Nokia.
he's going. He's going to Microsoft because Microsoft's already hit the computer market. They've already hit the gaming market, and they're going to take the phone market. As much as I'm not going to say it's better yet because it's kind of crappy.
So
but
Windows
Cortana,
Phone 8.1.1 update. This last update, I need to get my hands on a review unit because I want to show you guys. I have a friend with a couple phones. I need to get a review unit here, and it's. I'm very impressed with up until 1.1. It was, for me, still not quite a legitimate OS, and it kind of finally is.
I mean, I agree.
The live tile updates are kind of sexy. Cortana is
broken at the moment.
Yes, but what she is, she's everything that's good about Google Now.
That's exactly
and everything
right.
that's good about Siri in one companion.
They just haven't gotten it to function properly.
But you know what? It's the first release. I mean, Siri kind of blew.
No, Siri was terrible. When I got my 4S, I never used Siri. I have a 5S now. I use that shit all the time.
So, and I know usually skip the you'll usually skip the non-S's. You gonna go with a 6 when it comes out? It's got
You can fall prey to that trick every time.
I know.
I never do it, and I know you will.
I know. I probably will.
I know you will.
I know.
You're a sucker.
I am a sucker. So. And the last big story is we won't see this technology for probably another 2 to 3 years.
He showed me this video before we started. He goes, hey, look at this thing about charging your phone in 30 seconds. I go, you mean the thing about the microwave and you stick your phone in the microwave? And he goes, no. Really watch this.
Yeah. So this is not one of these stupid internet scam funny videos where people put their phones in their microwaves and charge them and all that bullshit. This is legitimate, and I'll put a link to the video here. I'll show you a clip of the thing charging. Possibly. They took a standard Samsung Galaxy S4 because this was before the 5 shipped out.
Their replacement battery.
They put a replacement battery and a prototype charging unit. Plugs it in. It's at about 12%. It goes from 12 to 100 in less than
literally
30
seconds. It blew my mind, and that's me saying this with a 5S. And I have to admit, when I turn airplane mode on. That's a life hack for you. If you really want to charge your phone fast, turn airplane mode on.
Oh, absolutely. And charge it in an iPad charger. If you have
one.
That's
true. That totally works.
Because it's a 2 amp charger instead of a 1.1.
Absolutely. So if I turn this to airplane mode, I can have my phone fully charged in 45 minutes.
Or even less.
Or 30, So.
That's the other thing, too. And this is since we're going to life hack, even though that's not what Tech Bytes is about, I will give you one, too.
All right.
People talk about, do you let it discharge? Do not let your phone discharge all the way. Your best place to charge your phone is at 20%.
That is true. I actually am bad about this. It hurts
your battery in the long run.
I don't ever let mine die.
Yeah, don't let it die.
I'm bad about getting it down to 8% sometimes.
That's still better than dead. Dead is the worst thing you can do for these batteries.
Now, that is not the case with iPhones before the 5.
That's true.
They updated the type of battery that was used in it. Before then, if you don't discharge that about every 3 months, you're gonna hurt yourself.
You're absolutely gonna hurt yourself. So, a lot of technology news. I only hit the top stories that I really wanted to talk about. But trust me, there was so much more going on this week. It was really a surprisingly big week, so I'm kind of glad we're back.
And now that we're back, it's fantastic. Yeah. And the biggest thing is, we'll have even more for this. Even more for you next week.
He's so excited, he can't even talk straight.
I can't. I'm just happy to be back.
Me too.
So, it's the time of year that I love.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And that's summer movie time.
I know we can't sing, but...
No, I can't.
I love summer
movie time.
August is seriously like my favorite month ever.
I am actually...
Not gonna lie.
I don't know how I'm going to live through August.
I know.
Because there are so many movies that are coming out in August this year alone. It's
painfully
amazing. Yeah. This August is going to be the end-all, be-all beatdown of movie theater patron pockets. I'm going to be broke all August just because I know I'm going to be seeing so many movies. So... This is pop culture. We do it every so often. But what we wanted to focus on was the summer movie list. Now, the one that's already been out that we both have seen.
Holy Mother of God,
Captain
Winter Soldier.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier was amazing.
It really was.
In my opinion,
the best
Marvel movie so far. And I know I say that after...
Every movie almost
that comes out.
Like Iron Man 3 was kind of that for different reasons.
The only one I don't think I ever said it about was Iron Man 2. Yeah. And that was, I'm sorry, it was bad. I don't care if you like it.
I do, however, think I know what's going to top it already.
What?
Avengers 2.
Avengers 2. Which, well, we're not going to talk about that yet because that's next summer.
I know, but I'm sorry.
Well, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I'm going to drop a little, we're going to, spoiler alert. Sorry, if you need to, skip about 3 minutes forward.
Yeah.
We all know who the Winter Soldier was.
Yes.
It's Bucky.
Yeah.
But the big thing I want to talk about is there's 2 scenes after the movie There's the introduction to Scarlet Witch,
which, by the way, is why you should always stay for the credits.
Always, and not just the first scene. You've got 2 sets of credits. You've got the flashy, nice credits scene,
and then you got the boring,
boring credits scene.
Yeah.
So the first one was introducing us to the some of the new members that'll be in the Avengers 2, which will be Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. That'll be, was it Warner Brothers version? Because Fox has their own version of Quicksilver for the next movie we're going to talk about.
Yeah, but Quicksilver looked pretty nice.
I've got to give it to them that I've seen pictures otherwise, and they looked terrible.
They looked really, really, really corny.
And it looked good.
Campy and bad.
He looked good.
He looked badass.
So at the end of the actual other credits, we see Bucky standing in front of his own memorial in the museum. For me, I want to say that Captain America Winter Soldier is the part 1 of a 2-part series.
I'm with you there.
And I think that's going to lead up to even more. We know a lot of people's contracts are running out for after the Avengers 2.
Right.
Chris Evans, I have a feeling, may sign back on, but I have a feeling RDJ's getting murked. I have a feeling Tony Stark's just going to be gone.
He might be. That's possible. I mean,
he doesn't want to do the role anymore, so can't blame him. But I can't think of anybody else better to.
Oh, you can't replace Tony Stark. You have to kill him. You cannot replace him. Yes, I agree with you.
You have to kill him, or he's got to go MIA. Just stick Iron Man or War Machine in there because Don Cheadle's a little cheaper. So this
War Machine, I could tolerate that.
This coming, I could too. This coming up weekend, I've got another big one: Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes. The reboot that Tobey Maguire should have had. Well, it should have been him, but I'm just saying when I hated those movies. I'm sorry.
I didn't hate those movies until I saw 3. But I was a lot younger, and I saw 3 opening. I didn't sit through the whole movie. I left halfway through. I didn't even have the gall to ask for my money back because I felt that I just punished myself enough.
For me, The Amazing Spider-Man is, and a lot of people are going to hate this because I know it got some bad flack, is like the new Superman movies because I freaking love the Superman reboot.
It's absolutely the storyline for Ultimate Spider-Man. If you ever read the comics, it is 100% that. Andrew Garfield is the Peter Parker I know and love. And I didn't see the first one in theaters. I didn't see Amazing Spider-Man in theaters.
I did.
Sony ran such a long campaign and shoved it. They were like, "Hey, have you seen Spider-Man? Have you seen
just
Spider-Man?
Knew it was
look at this,
crap.
look at this,
but
look
it
at
wasn't
this."
crap.
I didn't care anymore. I was like, I am so just overindulged in this whole advertising campaign that you guys can go fuck yourself and your Hardy Burgers.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I can't wait to see this one, and they haven't dropped barely.
That's true.
Any news.
That's really true. You got a couple of good trailers. You got a couple of good trailers.
I have to watch international trailers to see extra footage.
That was about it.
So I'm really excited about this.
And I'm actually excited for once to see Jamie Foxx in a movie. How weird is that?
I love Jamie Foxx. I do.
I'm not a huge fan. I'm not. Now, let me say this.
Django?
I'm not a Jamie Foxx hater.
Okay.
I want to be specific.
But you're not like, you wouldn't go out of your way to see a Jamie Foxx movie. I don't go out of my seat.
You're right. So, although there have been movies like he was amazing in Ray.
Yes.
That's still one of my favorite.
Amazing in Ray. And Django.
It's still one of my favorite. And Django was very good too. But I just, for the most part, I
understand.
But seriously, he looks kind of amazing in this movie.
He does. I think it's good. And at first I worried because, you've got Electro, you've got the Rhino, and you've got the Green Goblin. But I think, I want to say his name's Mark Webber is the director of that.
Yeah.
Is going to be able to pull this off.
I think he is.
And I think it's going to be good.
I absolutely think he is.
So following up soon after Spider-Man is the one that I am ready for. I'm really excited about this.
I have goosebumps right now. I'm not going to lie.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
I know.
We get to take all the X-Men that we had where Bryan Singer established it. No, we don't talk about 3 because that was Brett Ratner and he can... We're trying to be more of a family program, so I can't go into that. But
we've hit our F-bomb limit.
Yeah, we're taking the X-Men, 1 and 2. We love all those characters,
and we're taking what they've done very good about First Class.
It was like watching a graphic novel.
It kind of was. I mean, I had, and maybe it's because I went into First Class with like zero expectation.
I didn't even see it in theaters. Again,
so I didn't either, and that's what I'm saying. I went zero expectation. I Redboxed it.
I watched it on a whim.
And I was like,
I digitally acquired it. I know, but they're just taking both of those and just. And that's what I want.
I'm so happy to see Charles Xavier back.
I am too.
I'm talking Patrick Stewart, Charles.
I'm happy about Patrick Stewart, and I don't remember the other kid's name.
Face to face, though. Come on.
Oh, it's amazing.
They're like talking. Oh.
It's going to be amazing, and everybody's all up in arms at the Wolverine thing. But hey, you know what? Get over it. He's one of my favorite characters. I don't care if you.
And
feel
I love
he's
Hugh
overdone.
Jackman. I love
Hugh Jackman. If the bar ain't bending, you're just pretending. Part of the reason I'm in the gym every day.
Yeah.
Following up after that, we're going to have, I want to say it's Transformers 3 will be actually out afterwards.
I'm looking forward to that movie.
Which is shocking.
I wasn't at first.
I want you to tell them. Okay.
So when I first heard that this was going to be the Dinobot movie,
What
can
did you
ask
say to
him.
me? You were like, I was like, yeah, are you excited? I love Dinobots, and you were just like, don't talk to me right now.
I did not.
I don't want anything to do with this.
I really didn't. And then I saw the trailer, and I saw Mark.
Optimus
and first
Prime.
of all, I love Mark Wahlberg. I'm not gonna
As
lie to
do
you. I'm a
I.
huge Mark Wahlberg fan. And when I saw him, I was like, I did not know. Since I was so turned off, I literally ignored news about the movie. I didn't know he was in it until I saw the trailer. And it might have been Winter Soldier that I saw this trailer, right?
No, it was right. It was something before Winter Soldier, but you saw the full trailer.
Yes.
No, it was. It was it was Winter Soldier.
I saw a couple of movies that weekend, so I'm trying. But either way, and I saw him and I didn't know, because again, since I didn't know he was in it, I didn't know that's what it was when he was coming out of that barn, and then they pulled that semi up. I was like,
is that Optimus Prime? What's Optimus Prime doing hanging out with Mark Wahlberg?
Right. I was like, that's a busted up Optimus Prime, and I got goosebumps, and I was like, oh my god. It looks amazing. Even the Dinobots look amazing.
Optimus
they don't look
Prime
campy. They
riding Grimlock.
They look badass.
All I gotta say,
I
and
know.
I don't care. All the Transformer enthusiasts and the
I know that
the guys, the purists. I don't care what you say. I don't care about the size of Grimlock. It looks awesome.
It looks amazing,
and I'm gonna see it. Shut up and take my money.
They turned me. They totally turned me.
So what about Breaking Godzilla?
All right. Obviously, I love Bryan Cranston.
As do I.
Mean, and the one worry I had until I saw the first trailer was that they've never been able to make a Godzilla movie that
had a story or had a concise, cohesive
that didn't have a story and that wasn't campy and not intentionally. Now, if you're intentionally campy with Godzilla,
it's great.
I'm
all for it.
But the last 2 or 3 Godzilla movies were not intentionally campy.
Nope,
and it made them horrible.
They were bad. We don't even need to talk about the whole Matthew Broderick Puff Daddy.
Shut your face. But this movie seems to not only have a storyline.
It's beautiful as far as the
graphically speaking. Yes. Wow.
The sound of Godzilla, the look of Godzilla,
everything.
The feel. When you watch the trailer, you immediately feel doom coming towards yourself.
And you feel like you're about this fucking big.
Oh, yeah. Which is the perfect...
Yeah,
but I'm still up in the air.
And if you haven't seen that trailer in a movie theater...
it's completely...
Like, find any movie. It doesn't matter what movie it is.
It's in front of everything
It's in front of everything. It is so worth watching that. And I saw it in... because I went to watch
Winter Soldier. Go to a $1 movie and just leave afterwards.
Yeah, but I went to watch... I watched Winter Soldier in IMAX 3D, right? So I saw Godzilla in trailer in IMAX. So... He was 90 feet tall.
You got THX, didn't you? You got the THX treatment. The audience is now deaf.
Yeah, dude, it was... So
I'm pumped about it, but I am very worried at the same time.
You know what? I am so pumped. I'm so pumped. The worry's gone at this point for me.
All right. How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Love the first one. I think this will be cute too.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have actually seen the trailer.
I don't think it's going to be cute. I think it's going to be a little bit darker and a little bit more mature, which I think is perfect.
A little bit, but I still.
Well, I mean, you got to think the last one came out 4 years ago. Yeah, so those kids who went in to see it are now like 12, 13
that's
area.
True. That's true.
Or they're no longer 24 years old; they're 28 years old. So
36. So yeah.
So I think it's going to be a little more mature. And I actually did watch The Riders of Berk on Cartoon Network. It was great. It was a great cartoon show. Yeah. It was great. So I think it's going to be really good.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
And that's just a handful of the sprinklings that... Oh, you know what? There's one I didn't...
There's one huge sprinkling you just about didn't cover, and I was going to smack you.
Dude, I'd have been upset with myself.
Before you say this, can I just say, for those of you who don't watch Parks and Rec, it's a great, funny show, and the finale this week was amazing. I actually
Was it a season finale?
It was a season finale.
Don't say the word finale. I freak out.
This was a season finale. It was an hour long. It was the perfect end for the season, and without ruining the show.
No spoilers, because I haven't seen this season.
It's a great... there's a shift coming if you've been watching the show.
Well, we know 2 characters are leaving.
So, this is the perfect shift change. The way they did it's perfect. I think it's great. But what I'm talking about isn't even that, and isn't Leslie Knope. It isn't Ron Swanson. Chris Pratt got fucking stacked up.
Dude is brick house.
I have a little man crush. I'm not gonna lie.
That is what I want to look like.
Yeah.
I would love to look like Hugh Jackman, but he's way too veiny for me. Chris Pratt is realistically built.
Guardians of the Galaxy, saw the trailer, and it appears to be the perfect amount of camp.
Star-Lord, man, come on. Right.
It appears to be the perfect amount of camp with the perfect amount of action.
And I think it's a great way to introduce a new generation to something that I thought was the worst decision Marvel had ever made.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to take this comic from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
It's been redone about 1,000 times across the board.
We're going to
make it into a movie.
How many Guardian of the Galaxy movies?
Movies, no. Books.
Well, I mean, made for TV movies. There have been 2 or 3.
I don't know about that, but as far as the books go,
there's a ton of books.
They've changed it over 1,000,000 times. Yeah. And this is... No one knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. I had to go dig through my comic collection to find the 2
and they make fun of that fact apparently through the entire movie.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah. So
that's going to be Marvel's.
Looks good.
I hate to say this, but even with X-Men, it might be their biggest hit this year. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to bring in even the non-nerds.
So speaking of,
it's going to be huge.
And the movies that came out this summer that are out already that I saw. So there's someone that I thought was in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I didn't see her. Nowhere in the trailer. Where's she at?
I think she's the surprise. She's the surprise character.
But I want to talk about Karen for a minute because she was in a movie I did see recently.
We don't want you. All right.
And I'm only doing this as a PSA. Don't see this
Oculus.
movie.
Don't see it.
So I didn't have high hopes necessarily for the movie, but I thought it was going to be good.
The trailer looked awesome.
The trailer looked good. The cast, it's a good cast.
It is.
And I'm not just saying that because I have a huge crush on Karen.
No, but it actually looked like even the kid who played her brother was awesome.
And by the way, the actors even in the movie were good. The story was crap.
It was really bad.
It was really just awful.
I felt like I watched Insidious.
What did you call it?
Bad.
Insidious with mirrors.
It was Insidious. It was Insidious with mirrors.
He called it Insidious with mirrors, and I kind of have to agree.
It is. That's just what it is.
Only
now, here's something I didn't know, and when I had already paid my money, I was already sat in the theater.
Yes, we both looked at each other.
And I said, okay, so in the original trailer they show you, there's one logo for a production company that's missing from the trailer, and now I understand why they did it. Yeah. As I'm sitting in the theater...
First of all, there's like 9 production companies
It was
involved.
ridiculous.
It took an hour to get through that part.
Yeah, it did.
And the last one popped up.
And said WWE Productions, and I immediately regretted an hour and a half of my life.
Yeah.
I was done. I was like, well, I'm consigned to this. And it's not to say that they always make bad movies.
No, but they mostly make bad movies.
They mostly make terrible films.
Because what they forget is when they stick to stuff where they put like John Cena out there and beat people
12 rounds
was
or the
awesome.
Marine?
The Marine was great.
Was awesome. The first one, none of the rest of them.
No. But I mean, like, and what was the recent one with John Cena?
I have no clue. I haven't seen it in a long time.
He drives a car almost the entire episode, the entire movie.
But they also helped fund The Rundown, one of my favorite rock movies of ever.
It was a good campy, fun kind of action. And The Rundown, that's a really another good one.
Fantastic film.
Although I don't know, even when The Rock's in a bad movie, it's a good movie.
Unless you're talking Scorpion King, because I'd rather kill myself than watch that again.
No, I'm not talking Scorpion King.
Okay, cool.
Wait, I didn't know that was a movie.
Yeah.
So pretty sure that didn't happen.
Ooh.
That didn't happen, right?
Nope.
There was The Mummy, there was The Mummy 2, and then that was it.
That was it.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that's a little bit of pop culture for you this week. A lot of movies. Obviously, we're crazy movie people. So
I want to talk about a new segment, and I'm going to launch it right now.
God.
It's called The Best Of. We pick a new subject every week, and we discuss it. I wanted to talk about something that's starting to be huge everywhere now.
Lay it on me.
Webcomics. I love comic books.
They are kind of picking up.
And I love webcomics. I've been reading webcomics probably on a day-to-day basis since about 2001, 2002.
And I don't read nearly as many as you do. But I read Cyanide and Happiness because... dude is hilarious.
So I wanted to go over the top 5 webcomics, in my opinion, and I refuse to do one thing this week. I refuse to order them from 5 to 1. These are all top 5 webcomics that I consider to be great. No order at all, because I shouldn't have to pick who's better than who.
I'm fine with that. Top 5 doesn't matter.
The first one I want to talk about
no particular order.
Is by Jeff Jocks.
Okay.
And I believe you read it. It's called Questionable Content. Yeah. You can find him at questionablecontent.net. Yeah. It's the story of Martin, Faye, and some other characters, Hannelore, and it's basically just a coming-of-age tale about hipsters that aren't hipsters but are indie kids.
Right. Basically, the reason he likes it is because it's about him. I mean,
I don't know about that per se, but I've been reading. I've been literally reading this webcomic every day.
I don't read it every day. I'll hit it about once a week, and I'll read 2 or 3 of them. I think.
Here's the weird thing. I've been reading it daily for almost 10 years.
Oh my god!
I have purchased a lot of stuff from Jeff Jocks because that is the one webcomic that if all other webcomics ended tomorrow, I would die if Questionable Content never wrapped up.
We can't have that.
The second one would be Scott Kurtz, who is PvP Online. PvP Online.
Yeah, I saw this in your show notes. I've never even heard of this.
PvP Online has been around. So. This is actually one of the oldest webcomics on the internet. I'd say.
I just lost the nerd credit.
I'd say that they've been running since 97, 98.
Damn.
That's a long time. And it's one continual storyline. It starts off about the company and the people who work there of PvP. They were a video game magazine. Now, in the last couple of years, they've transitioned to a video game developing company because, let's face it, print media is dead. Scott Kurtz also assists in the other webcomic, which I'll hit on, but will not talk about. It's called Table Titans. It's about a group who plays D&D and the adventures of their D&D characters. Yep. We liken that to Looking for Group, which is done by Lars D'Souza and Ryan Somer, who also do
I like Looking for Group.
Looking for Group is fantastic. That's definitely for the WoW fans out there. The third one I'd like to talk about is going to be Dr. McNinja. I can't remember the guy's name who does Dr. McNinja. It's Ryan something or another. It's so bad. But
I apologize. It's going to be right there.
It probably will. It'll probably go look it up. But he is also one of my favorite Marvel writers. He did the series for Deadpool Saves the Marvel Universe.
I love Deadpool.
And he is amazing at it. But the thing about Dr. McNinja, it's not your normal comic. And it started as just kind of a random project that was pen and paper, all black and white for a while. And then he started getting a colorist and or an inker, I guess would be. And it is the most ridiculous, funny, and amazing comic book.
Very cool.
It is a page layout comic book. He does all his stuff in print.
Oh, wow.
It's fantastic. I own both of the analogy, like, not the analogy, but the collections. Yeah. I own them both.
Anthology?
That's what I'm looking for.
All right. It's been a while, folks.
The last two I'm going to follow up with are kind of like head-to-head, and they're two friends who are also very huge in mixing their webcomics up.
Okay.
The first one is Something Positive. That's done by, and his name just left my brain.
While he's doing that, the other one I've actually read a little bit of, and that's the Girls with Slingshots.
Girls with Slingshots is the other one. That's Danielle Corsetto. Yeah. That's been running for a long time as well. She updates daily. Yeah. And I have to say that as far as a real life comic goes, or something that's close to a real life comic, and another coming of age tale, Girls with Slingshots is amazing, and it's probably one of the best female driven storylines that I've ever read in my life. And Danielle Corsetto writes not like a feminist point of view or anything, but she writes it's 100% equality.
It just happens to have a girl in the lead.
Yeah,
it's not anti-guy, it's not anti-girl, it's not pro-guy, it's not pro-girl. It's
epitome of equality. Right. And it would be Randy Milholland. He puts it on there as R.K. Mulholland, but it's Something Positive, and this is the story of Davin and his friends again. I guess I read a lot of coming-of-age comics.
SomethingPositive.net.
And
I haven't read this one yet, so
Something Positive has, again, we want to talk about one of the oldest webcomics, and it's been going since 2001. Yeah, 2001 was when they initiated Something Positive. Yeah. All these webcomics have been around for a long time. I've been reading all of them since God knows how long. A long time. And I definitely suggest that if you're bored and you're on the internet and you're looking for something to do, read these things. There's so many archives back there, and these guys want more readers, and you're going to fall in love with all the cash, you're going to fall in love with all these webcomics, and you're going to want to buy a whole bunch of stuff from all their awesome stores. Yep. I just want to say and do this whole thing because thank you guys for being out there. Thank you for doing these comics, and thank you for entertaining me over the years, and hopefully I can take that and entertain some other people with it.
Oh, so that's a new segment. It's called
it's
the best of.
The best of. We'll do a little more of that maybe next episode, and we'll have one that we can. Maybe you can do. Maybe
I'll draw the best of.
It'll happen.
Stick around.
I know. Deliver the news. Drop the bombs.
So for those of you who know me, I've been a Microsoft certified trainer for
a long time.
10 years. Yeah. 10 years. And as of pretty much today, really, officially it'll be the end of April. So I will no longer be.
That's it. You're done.
Microsoft certified trainer.
You got like what, 4 days left of being a certified trainer. That's it.
So I'm an alumni now.
Well, I mean, being an alumni still comes with the perks. You still get to drop it on resumes, of course.
Yeah, and I still get discounts on exams. They changed their program a little bit, and I wasn't able to book a class in time for the registration. So
the price goes up on the entire thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it basically triples next year. And
there's no point in that.
Since I'm not teaching anyway, I haven't taught a class in a couple of years officially, but so I'm no longer an MCT. It's kind of end of an era. It's a, for a while, there was a period of time I ran a blog that was all about training and it's been a big part of my life.
Now we run a blog about just being nerds.
Right.
Oh, how far you've come in this adventure called life.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's the end of an era. It's been 10 years and it's not going to be anymore.
It's that time.
It is. I mean, like I said, I haven't taught a class in a couple of years anyway. It's not what I do full time at all anymore. But part of me is going to miss it. It's kind of hard to let go.
And that's understandable. I completely understand that. I mean, it's just one of those things, and I've been in those positions where you've been doing something for so long and you stop doing it and you move to something different and it's just like, bye, I'll miss you. So shed that one tear like an Indian picking up garbage on a highway.
Actually, he was an Indian.
I know, he was Italian.
It's true. Look it up.
Google it. It is. Google that. Don't make me Snopes that for you next week.
So, but I mean, one door closes, one door opens. Get all cliche for a minute. And this particular door, just to remind everybody, we talked about it already once, but I think we have to remind them.
DragonCon.
We're going to DragonCon.
We're going to DragonCon with Press Pass. So it's a big deal. We're gonna be there doing a live show. If you're there, stop by, hang out with us.
And if you're doing any kind of cosplay,
we want to see
please come see me. Please. I am a photographer as well. We'll have the cameras. I will have my DSLR out there, all of my lenses and my goodies, and
we'll make
I will be shooting a lot of photography.
We promise not to ask you to get naked. I promise not to ask you to get naked. He probably makes no such promises.
I can't promise that.
Yeah.
So I do actually shoot nudes.
Yeah, whatever you want to call those selfies that you take in the mirror at 3 a.m.
Not of me. Trust me, you don't want to see that.
Whatever.
But we're gonna be at DragonCon.
We will be at DragonCon.
Shooting photography. We're gonna be shooting video together. Yep. He's gonna be writing some stuff for a couple other projects.
My other projects I'll be working on,
ours as well.
So we'll be doing a lot of stuff there. Come by, see us. If you can't come by, see us at DragonCon. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. Make sure to follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Facebook.
That's right, because there will be tons of content posted on there
everywhere. It will be everywhere, and we will be at DragonCon.
We also promise you that we're not going to take we'll probably do this every year. We'll probably take a month off every year. But that's going to be better than everybody else who takes off 6 months at a time.
And I also, we'll talk about that for just a second too. As we move forward, when more vacations start to happen and we get more shows, you're going to see some substitute co-host occasionally. Mm-hmm. So you might see him do a show with someone else. Or vice versa. You might see me do one with someone else. Because what we don't want to do is we really don't want to do that again. We don't
want to go and leave you guys hanging for another month without real notice. So
sorry.
We're gonna substitute. And that's just what it's gonna be. We'll also have a lot more filler content as well coming on. So we are working with a lot of other people to get the network actually fleshed out. And we are starting a new show. With the release of Watch Dogs.
Absolute Zero is coming out too. I'm sorry, your show.
No,
Jeez, we got so many.
Doesn't matter.
We've got so many new shows coming.
So we got Absolute Zero, which is going to be a science podcast.
Neither one of us are in it. You're going to get introduced to 2 brand new hosts for that show.
You don't have to deal with our assholes. Faces,
totally. But you have a new show too.
I'll be launching a new show next month, hopefully, and it'll be called Game On.
Game On.
And we're going to do game reviews starting with Watch Dog. We're actually going to do a couple older games as well, just some recording of playthroughs. We're going to show you some secrets. We're going to show you some how-tos. We're going to show you Easter eggs that you wouldn't normally find in games.
Yeah. And while he might do more of those, I am going to do a few Game Ons, so... I will do World of Warcraft.
Well, you're going to handle the PC side.
I'm going to do World of Warcraft this Christmas when it launches.
There it is.
I will go ahead and do Reaper of Souls for Diablo 3 because it's awesome.
So he's going to be handling PC side. I'm going to be handling console side, and that's going to be one of your new shows that's coming to the network.
Look for that. Look for Absolute Zero. Look for new episodes of Bookworm.
Look for us at DragonCon.
Just watch out, internet. TSPN is coming.